Hey guys, it's Mr. Evans here, and I'm just recording this video for you so that you can have a quick look through the criteria sheet. As you can see up on our screen, this is the criteria sheet that's used for all of our assignments in ITS, and basically it's split into three different sections. You can see here, knowledge and communication, design and development, and implementation and evaluation. Okay, so what I do is I go through each one of these sections independently, and I give you a mark. Okay, so I'll give you a tick in whichever, for each point. I might give you a tick for that one, or I might put it down here, depending on the level that you've displayed it at. And then I'll give you an average for each section. So for that section, you might get a B, you might get an A, depending on where the ticks are and where it all works out to be. Okay. So knowledge and communication is the first one that I look at. And I'm just going to go through the standard A. Okay, so this is the exceptional work, and you really have to do exceptional work to get an A. Okay, so the student work has the following characteristics: accurate and comprehensive definitions, explanations, and use of IT terms, concepts, and principles. So if you compare that to the B standard, okay, it says accurate and detailed definitions, whereas this one says accurate and comprehensive definitions. So that's the difference between an A and a B. Comprehensive definitions, explanations, and use of IT terms, or just detailed. Okay, so there's not a lot between them, but that's the difference between an A and a B. Okay, so you need to provide so comprehensive definitions, explanations, use of IT terms. So IT terms are things like if we're talking about the design elements, you should be talking about those things in your assignment. So the different design principles and elements. So you could be talking about the terms used for for design. So it might be in Adobe Illustrator. You might be talking about kerning on text. You could be talking about any of the technical terms for what you're doing. Okay. Also concept and principles as well. So all the technical stuff, the way that you present that and talk about it, whether it's accurate and comprehensive, is really important. Okay. You'll see if I drop down to the C level, it talks about the definitions, explanations, and use of IT terms, concept, and principles. So if you just talk about them, you'll get a C. If you're detailed in them, you'll get a B. And if you're comprehensive and accurate, okay, you'll get an A. That's just for that bullet point. Okay, so if we look to the next bullet point, the next one is talking about coherent and clear communication of concepts, principles, design processes using mode, genre, language, and conventions disseminately. Okay, so basically, discerningly. Basically, that's really talking about how well you communicate. Okay, so knowledge and communication. Communication is a mark, and it's really important that you're using full sentences, you're using correct grammar, you're making it really easy to read by using things like bullet points, always using your headings, speaking as though you're the professional. Okay, so you're not just talking to your mate. Using the correct mode, genre, and language conventions. All really important stuff. And if you want to get an A, that's what you got to do. You're going to get a B, clear communication of concepts, principles. So it's still clear. It's still all very clear. A B is still quite good, okay? But an A is coherent and clear, which is the main one. So that extra word of coherent in there, okay? The next one is design and development. Student work has the following characteristics: comprehensive and discerning analysis of client needs, purpose and scenarios to inform the design plan. So in this section, what I'm doing is looking at generally the part A of your assignment, and I'm also looking at your specification of requirements. So if you've just got a few little things down, it's not going to be comprehensive, okay? And it's not going to be discerning. So if we compare that to the B standard for the same thing, it just says detailed analysis of client needs. So even the B standard is detailed. Okay, even the B standard is detailed. The C standard is analysis of clients' needs, purpose, and scenarios to inform the design plan. So it's still there. Okay, even a D is just a simple analysis. Okay, so ideally you're going to look at what's required. You're going to be really comprehensive about what you need to do. You need to be discerning. To be discerning, it means that you need to know what you're capable of, or what you're not capable of. Okay, so if something is way out of your range, make sure you don't say that you're going to do that, because, well, you're not even going to do that. Okay, make sure that it's something you can achieve. All right, the next one says thorough and systematic synthesis of information to design solutions. So this is your ability to go from synthesis of what's on the task sheet to coming up with an idea of how to achieve it. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. Thorough and systematic is what the A needs. Okay, it needs to be very thorough in your plan of how you plan on doing it. And a B standard is effective synthesis, and C is just the synthesis. Okay, comprehensive development and thorough testing of components to refine solutions. This is something that most students struggle with, because a lot of what happens is you might be testing your solutions, but the issue is that you're not documenting those tests. Okay, so you've got to make sure that if you're thoroughly testing, okay, for example, if you're doing the web design task in Year 12, it asks you to, well, you've got to refine your solution. So you've got to load the web page multiple times to make sure that it's exactly what you want. That is testing to refine the solutions. However, many people don't document that process. Okay, and if you don't document it and say, this is what I did, this is what didn't work, and maybe things were out by a few millimeters and I need to play with that and change it and then test it again, that's you talking about comprehensive development and thorough testing of components. You've got to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, I don't know you did it. Okay, so it's really important that you do that. Otherwise, I cannot give you that mark. Okay. Student work has the following characteristics. So this is the next section: implementation and evaluation. Okay. The student work has the following characteristics: use of a variety of complex technical skills and resources to present an efficient and effective solution. Notice, this is the only point on that entire sheet, okay, that talks about your actual final product. Okay, yes, the others talk around it, but this is the actual final product, and it's only 1 point out of all of them. Okay, that should give you some indication as to how important it is, okay, in the scheme of things. So if you're not achieving an A here, and you're currently working at a C level here, and you're using all your effort to try and get to this point here instead of here, maybe you should be really focusing on working on the other points, okay? Because you can pull up your mark quite easily with some of these other ones, making sure you're coherent and clear, okay? Rather than just trying to make a better product at the end, okay? So, use of a variety of complex technical skills and resources to present an efficient and effective solution. That really does speak for itself. Efficient and effective, and it uses complex skills, okay? The last one is the evaluation. Now, it's really important that you follow the process, okay? If you have a look on the Year 11 task sheets, they've all got what the SIP process is, what each point means, okay, and what kind of questions you need to answer in those points. If you're in Year 12, here's a hint. You still have access to the Year 11 courses. Go in, have a look at the task sheets, okay? It's all there. So you must use SIP. You've got to use your headings. You've always got to use your headings, the SIP headings: context, input, process, and product. Make sure you have them. Don't expect me to just find where you were talking about the context or where you were talking about the product. That's really not good enough, and it's too hard to do, like, to mark 400 of these if it's all hidden. Okay, make it easy for me to find and easy to mark, and then you'll get the best mark you can. Okay, so discerning and thorough evaluation. So it's got to be discerning. Okay, you've got to be clear in what you're saying. It's got to be thorough. You need to talk about all the points. Okay, the evaluation is where you refer back to your analysis of what was expected, the client needs. Okay, so you're referring back to it and say, did I achieve it, using that SIP framework that we've talked about many, many times. Okay, please make sure you do all those things. And just a final note before I wrap up. This is a task sheet that I'm tied to. You'll see down the bottom here it says Queensland Studies Authority. I can't change this, and I cannot mark you, I cannot give you marks unless I can see some of these things, right? If I see you in class and you're absolutely refining your solutions and you're doing all that stuff, and I don't see it in your paper trail, okay, in your paperwork, I can't give you the mark, okay? My hands are tied. So you need to make sure that you're showing each one of these points in your assignment, okay? Please make sure you do that. If you need help in figuring out where you went wrong in the last assignment or how you want to achieve in this next assignment, please make sure you come and see me, okay? I'm always available to have a chat about these things. And if you're concerned that in one of these points you're not quite getting where you need to go, I'm happy to give you some guidance there and help you to get it up to where you need it to be, okay? Thanks for watching. Hopefully you took all that in. Please remember to whip this thing out throughout the entire assignment process. It's a really, really important document. Good luck, guys. Talk to you soon.